When I look back at the journey of great success stories, one truth stands out. It's not how much you do, but how well you do it. Many people chase numbers, more sales, more followers, more products, more everything. But they forget that numbers fade. Impact lasts. Real success is not measured by how much you produce, but by the value and trust you build with every effort. I remember a time when people laughed at the idea of focusing on one product, one service, one idea. They said, do more, expand fast, dominate everything. But I always believed that if you can make one thing truly great, that one thing will open doors to everything else. You don't need to be everywhere. You need to be outstanding somewhere. When I look around the world today, I see people chasing speed, chasing numbers, chasing the idea that more is always better. More products, more followers, more money, more everything. But in this race for quantity, many forget the essence of what truly lasts: quality. Quality is what gives life meaning, what gives work purpose, and what gives success a soul. It's easy to make something fast, but it's hard to make something great. It's easy to produce 100 average things, but it takes heart, patience, and vision to create one masterpiece that leaves a mark. I've always believed that real success is not about how much you do, but how well you do it. Many people think doing more means growing faster, but that's not true. Growth without direction is just movement, and movement without purpose leads nowhere. Every time you create something, every time you make a decision, every time you serve a customer or lead a team, ask yourself, am I doing this because I want more or because I want better? The world does not reward those who do the most. It rewards those who do the best. People often underestimate the power of doing one thing with excellence. They jump from one idea to another, thinking quantity will bring results. But when you focus on one thing deeply, when you pour your energy and heart into making it truly valuable, it creates ripples far beyond what numbers can measure. One good idea, one honest effort, one well-built product can open doors that 1,000 average attempts never will. The key is to understand that quality multiplies. When you deliver something of genuine value, it creates trust. Trust builds reputation, and reputation attracts opportunity. Quality takes time. It demands that you slow down when everyone else is in a hurry. It asks you to stay consistent when results don't come immediately. It challenges you to care when others are careless. But the reward is that what you build stands tall long after the noise fades. Think about it. People remember those who left a mark through their work, not because they did the most, but because they did it with heart. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is not how much effort you put in, but how much intention you bring to every effort. In business and in life, quantity can give you visibility, but quality gives you longevity. Quantity attracts attention for a moment, but quality earns loyalty for a lifetime. When people see your commitment to excellence, when they feel your sincerity in every detail, they don't just buy your product or follow your idea. They believe in you. And that belief is the most powerful currency in the world. Numbers can be copied, strategies can be imitated, but genuine quality cannot be faked. It is a reflection of who you are, what you stand for, and how much you care. Every day you have two choices. You can rush to do more, or you can focus on doing better. Most people choose the first path because it's easier. It feels productive, it looks impressive, it gives instant satisfaction. But the second path, the path of quality, is harder. It requires patience, consistency, and courage. You must be willing to fail, to learn, to improve again and again. But that's the path that builds something real. The more you choose quality, the stronger your foundation becomes. The stronger your foundation, the higher you can rise. In the end, success is not a race against others, it's a race against yourself. It's about how much you can improve, how deeply you can commit, and how consistently you can deliver excellence. Don't be fooled by quick results. Fast success often disappears as fast as it came. Slow growth built on quality becomes unshakable. The things you create with care will speak for you long after you're gone. Quality is the invisible force that makes your work unforgettable, your reputation untouchable, and your legacy undeniable. That's why you must remind yourself every day, don't count what you do, make what you do count. When you choose to build with quality, you are not just building for today, you are building for tomorrow, for the people who will come after you, for the name that will outlive you. Quality is not a strategy, it's a mindset. It's not about perfection, it's about intention. It's about putting your best into everything, even when no one is watching. Because true greatness is never measured by how many things you've done, but by how deeply one thing you did touched lives and stood the test of time every day. We are surrounded by people who are chasing quantity. More sales, more products, more attention, more achievements. The world measures success in numbers, and many believe that more always means better. But if we stop and look closely, we realize that the loudest voices are not always the most important. Real impact does not come from doing more. It comes from doing better. True greatness is not in the number of things you produce, but in the quality you put into each of them. If you want to leave a lasting mark, you must focus on creating value, not just volume. Quality is about care. It is about attention to detail, about the time and effort you pour into something to make it meaningful. Many people underestimate this because they are looking for fast results. They think speed equals success, but speed without quality is empty. A product can sell today, a post can go viral this week, but when the trend passes, the result disappears. What lasts is quality. What lasts is the work that reflects thought, effort, and a commitment to excellence. When you give your best, people notice, even if slowly. Trust builds slowly, respect grows slowly, and impact is felt slowly, but these are the things that endure. I often see people spreading themselves too thin. They want to be everywhere at once, to serve every market, to try every idea. But in doing so, they often achieve very little. One exceptional product, one well-served customer, one carefully nurtured relationship, these things have far more power than 100 mediocre attempts. Excellence has a multiplying effect. It creates credibility, trust, and influence. One thing done right opens doors to opportunities that quantity alone can never create. It's not how many things you start, it's how well you finish, how deeply you care about the result, and how much people feel the value you deliver. Patience is at the heart of quality. While others rush, you take the time to get it right. While others are distracted, you focus. While others look for shortcuts, you invest in the long term. Quality requires consistency and dedication, but it pays back in ways that quantity cannot. People remember sincerity, they remember excellence, they remember care. When you create something of high quality, it communicates to the world who you are and what you stand for. The mark you leave is not just in the work itself, but in the trust and loyalty it generates. There is also courage in choosing quality over quantity. The world rewards fast results, the visible metrics of activity. Choosing quality means you are willing to go against the crowd, to focus when everyone else is distracted, to slow down when the world is moving faster. It is not easy. It is not glamorous. But it is effective. The quiet work of improvement, the unseen hours of refining, the attention to detail. These are the things that create masterpieces, build brands, and leave a legacy. We must also understand that quality is not only in what we produce, but in how we interact with people. Treating each customer, team member, and partner with respect and care is part of excellence. The relationships you nurture, the trust you build, the way you inspire others, all of these are forms of quality that cannot be measured in numbers. These are the foundations of long-term success. When people feel valued, when they feel that your work reflects thought and care, they become your partners in growth. The more you invest in quality in every interaction, the stronger the network of trust and loyalty you build. Every decision you make should reflect this principle. Do not chase temporary wins. Do not settle for mediocrity. Focus on what will last, on what will matter, on what will create value beyond immediate gain. Many people confuse business with progress. They count their activities instead of their achievements. But true progress comes from depth, from mastery, from the excellence you pour into each action. When you choose quality, you are choosing to make your efforts meaningful, to make your work matter, to make your life a contribution rather than a transaction. The path of quality is not easy, but it is the path of lasting achievement. While others look for shortcuts, you invest in fundamentals. While others are distracted by temporary trends, you focus on creating something timeless. Quality is a reflection of character, a demonstration of patience, and a commitment to excellence. It is what people remember long after the noise fades, what builds reputation, and what creates influence that cannot be bought. It is the invisible thread that connects effort with trust, work with impact, dedication with respect. In every task, every project, every relationship, you have a choice: pursue more or pursue better. The world will often celebrate speed, quantity, and superficial metrics, but those who focus on quality leave a mark that is deep, enduring, and meaningful. One careful effort can outweigh 100 careless ones. One genuine connection can surpass 1,000 shallow interactions. The small moments of care, the unseen hours of refinement, the commitment to excellence, These are the things that define legacies, that build trust, and that ensure that your work is remembered for the right reasons. Every day, I see people rushing to do more, believing that the quantity of what they produce is the measure of success. More emails, more meetings, more projects, more followers, more everything. But the truth is, doing more does not mean achieving more. Real achievement comes from depth, from thoughtfulness, from the commitment to making each effort meaningful. When you focus on quality rather than quantity, you are investing in something that lasts, something that creates impact beyond the moment, something that people will remember long after the numbers fade. The temptation of quantity is strong. It feels productive to check many boxes, to show results through volume. It feels safe to spread yourself thin, to try every trend, to jump from one opportunity to another. But this scattered approach often leads to mediocrity. The work you do becomes forgettable, the impact you hope to make disappears, and the trust people place in you weakens. Quality is different. Quality demands patience, attention, and care. It demands that you slow down while others rush, that you dig deeper while others skim the surface, that you focus on excellence even when it is not immediately rewarded. I remember when people around me were always in a hurry to expand, to be everywhere at once, to chase growth for the sake of growth. Many thought that focusing on one product, one market, or one idea was limiting. But I have learned that when you pour your heart and energy into doing one thing exceptionally well, it multiplies. One excellent product builds trust. One carefully nurtured relationship builds loyalty. One genuine effort builds a reputation that cannot be bought. The essence of lasting impact is not in doing everything, it is in doing something right. Quality also builds resilience. When you create something with care and purpose, it can withstand the storms of criticism, competition, and change. Mediocre work can be swept away by trends, by the opinions of others, or by time itself. But quality work becomes a foundation for future growth. People return to it, trust it, and recommend it. The mark you leave is not measured in the number of things you produce, but in the strength and depth of what you create. This is why true leaders, innovators, and creators focus relentlessly on quality, because it is what ensures that their work will endure. Choosing quality requires courage. It is tempting to chase immediate results, to take shortcuts, to follow the crowd. But those who focus on excellence often go against the current. They slow down when the world rushes, they refine when others compromise, they commit when others quit. This is not the easy path, but it is the one that builds trust, credibility, and respect. Quality earns attention quietly, but leaves a profound and lasting impression. It communicates to the world that you care, that you are serious, and that you are committed to making a difference. In every business, in every relationship, in every project, quality is the differentiator between ordinary and extraordinary. A product, a service, or an idea may reach people through marketing and numbers, but it is quality that keeps them there. People return to what is meaningful, reliable, and excellent. They trust it, they value it, and they remember it. Quantity can grab attention for a moment, but quality earns loyalty for a lifetime. When you focus on quality, you are investing not in temporary recognition, but in enduring influence. It is also important to understand that quality is not just in the work itself. It is in the way you approach every interaction and every decision. Treating people with respect, showing sincerity in your commitments, and delivering consistently are all expressions of quality. These actions build relationships, foster collaboration, and create networks of trust that are far more valuable than any superficial metric. The way you engage with others, the way you maintain integrity, and the way you persist with excellence all leave a mark that cannot be measured in numbers, but is felt in loyalty and admiration. Every day presents a choice: chase quantity or commit to quality. Quantity gives immediate gratification, but fleeting impact. Quality demands effort, patience, and perseverance, but it produces results that endure. True leaders understand this. They invest in what lasts, nurture what matters, and focus on what creates real value. One thoughtful decision, one carefully crafted product, one meaningful interaction. These are more powerful than 100 hasty attempts. When you focus on quality, your work becomes a legacy, your efforts become a standard, and your impact becomes unforgettable. The challenge is to remain disciplined in a world that celebrates speed and volume. Many will tempt you with shortcuts, but those who remain committed to quality rise above. They know that each effort, no matter how small, has the potential to create long-term value. They know that the mark they leave is not measured by how many things they produce, but by how deeply one thing touches lives, builds trust, and stands the test of time. Excellence multiplies quietly, but its effects are profound and enduring. Every day, people are taught to chase numbers, to measure success by quantity. More sales, more followers, more products, more achievements. But real success is not in how much you do, it is in how well you do it. Quantity can give attention, but quality gives respect. It is quality that builds trust, establishes credibility, and leaves a lasting impact. When we focus on creating something meaningful, something exceptional, we are planting seeds that grow long after the moment has passed. The world may celebrate speed and volume, but those who leave a legacy understand that depth and care matter far more than numbers. Many people misunderstand what it means to be productive. They equate business with progress, movement with achievement, and output with success. They believe that the more they do, the further they will go. But I have learned that doing many things poorly achieves far less than doing one thing excellently. Focus is the key to creating something memorable. When you concentrate on quality, when you invest time, effort, and thought into your work, you create value that cannot be replicated by simply doing more. True influence comes not from quantity, but from the depth and excellence of your contribution. There is a power in slowing down, in resisting the temptation to rush through tasks for the sake of numbers. Quality requires patience, discipline, and persistence. It requires that you care when others are careless, that you refine when others are satisfied with mediocrity, and that you remain consistent when others give up. These efforts may not be immediately recognized, but over time, they build a foundation that cannot be shaken. People remember sincerity, dedication, and craftsmanship. They remember the work that demonstrates care and excellence, and they trust the people who create it. Focusing on quality also means choosing carefully where to invest your energy. Many try to do everything at once, thinking that quantity equals success. But spreading yourself too thin leads to mediocrity. True success comes from mastering one thing at a time, from committing to excellence in each effort, and from understanding that depth multiplies. One product done exceptionally well, one service delivered with care, one relationship nurtured thoughtfully, these create ripple effects far greater than hundreds of superficial attempts. Quality multiplies silently, building reputation, trust, and influence that numbers alone cannot achieve. Courage is required to focus on quality in a world obsessed with quantity. It is easier to chase trends, to seek quick results, and to pursue the appearance of progress. But those who commit to excellence go against the tide. They slow down when others rush, refine when others settle, and persist when others quit. This path is not easy, but it is the path that builds trust, credibility, and respect. People notice those who care deeply, who are committed to improvement, and who consistently deliver work that matters. This is how true leaders and innovators leave a lasting mark. Quality is also reflected in how we interact with others. Every relationship, every connection, and every interaction is an opportunity to demonstrate care and integrity. Treating people with respect, fulfilling commitments faithfully, and acting with sincerity are forms of quality that cannot be measured in metrics. These efforts build networks of trust, inspire loyalty, and create influence that endures. People do not remember those who simply produced a lot. They remember those who created meaningful experiences and demonstrated authenticity. In every decision, every project, and every effort, the choice between quantity and quality is present. Quantity may bring immediate attention, but quality brings enduring impact. True achievement is measured by the depth of effort, the excellence of execution, and the value created. One well-crafted idea, one thoughtful action, one meaningful effort is more powerful than hundreds of hasty attempts. By focusing on quality, we are not only producing work that matters today, but we are also laying the foundation for the future, creating a legacy that will be remembered and respected. The challenge is to remain committed to quality in a world that rewards speed and volume. It is easy to follow the crowd, to chase superficial success, and to settle for what is convenient. But those who prioritize excellence rise above the noise. They invest in the long term, refine the details, and demonstrate care and commitment in every aspect of their work. This dedication ensures that their impact is profound, their reputation solid, and their legacy enduring. Every effort we make, when done with care, has the potential to create influence that lasts beyond our immediate presence. Success built on quality is not temporary. It withstands the test of time. While others may fade, the work we create with thoughtfulness, attention, and integrity continues to inspire, guide, and influence. People return to what is meaningful, trust what is consistent, and value what is excellent. Quality is the invisible force that turns ordinary work into extraordinary results. It transforms effort into impact, tasks into accomplishments, and actions into legacies. Choosing quality over quantity ensures that everything we do matters deeply, resonates widely, and leaves a mark that endures every day. We are reminded of the pressure to do more, to achieve more, to produce more. In a world obsessed with numbers and metrics, it is easy to fall into the trap of believing that quantity equals success. More followers, more sales, more projects, more output. The world applauds those who appear busy and productive. But true success is not measured by how much we do. It is measured by the impact of what we do. Quality over quantity is the principle that creates work, relationships, and achievements that stand the test of time. When we focus on excellence rather than volume, we create a foundation that is strong, trusted, and remembered. The pursuit of quantity often leads to superficial results. Many people spread themselves too thin, trying to be everywhere at once, to accomplish every task, and to chase every opportunity. In doing so, they dilute their effort and compromise the value of what they create. Quality, on the other hand, requires focus. It demands that we invest our energy and attention into the things that matter most, that we care deeply about the outcomes, and that we are willing to dedicate the time necessary to do something well. Excellence is not achieved by rushing, by multitasking, or by simply doing more. It is achieved by dedicating oneself fully to the work at hand, by refining, improving, and committing to value in every detail. One of the greatest lessons in life and business is understanding that a single act of quality can have a multiplying effect. One thoughtfully crafted product, one carefully nurtured relationship, one sincere effort can produce far greater results than hundreds of careless attempts. Quality builds trust, and trust multiplies. When people recognize the care, attention, and integrity behind your work, they become loyal, supportive, and willing to advocate on your behalf. Quantity can catch attention for a moment, but quality earns loyalty, respect, and long-term influence that cannot be bought. Quality also requires patience and perseverance. In a world that rewards speed, it is easy to feel pressured to rush, to compromise, and to settle for mediocrity. But lasting achievement is built slowly. The work that stands the test of time is the work that has been refined, improved, and perfected with dedication. Those who commit to quality accept that results may not be immediate, but they understand that impact is measured over the long term. Patience allows us to go deeper, to learn from mistakes, and to improve continuously. It is the willingness to endure short-term challenges in pursuit of long-term excellence that separates the remarkable from the ordinary. Choosing quality also demands courage. It is tempting to follow trends, chase quick wins, and prioritize visible metrics over meaningful outcomes. But those who focus on excellence often swim against the current. They slow down when others rush, refine when others compromise, and persist when others quit. This courage to prioritize depth over breadth, substance over volume, and integrity over expedience is what creates work that is remembered, respected, and trusted. Quality is not always the easiest path, but it is the one that leaves a lasting mark. Every interaction, decision, and effort presents an opportunity to demonstrate quality. Treating people with respect, delivering on promises, listening carefully, and acting with integrity are all reflections of a commitment to excellence. These are not easily measured in metrics, but their impact is profound. Relationships built on quality endure, influence spreads more effectively, and trust becomes a powerful currency. Quantity may provide visibility, but quality creates lasting connections that are far more valuable than temporary recognition. The focus on quality is not limited to products or services. It extends to mindset, approach, and vision. Leaders who prioritize quality invest in their teams, refine processes, and make decisions with long-term impact in mind. They understand that shortcuts may produce temporary results, but excellence builds foundations that can withstand challenges, change, and competition. Quality requires thinking beyond immediate gains, considering the effects of each action, and striving to leave a positive impact that resonates well beyond the present moment. Ultimately, choosing quality over quantity is a choice to create meaning, to invest in value, and to leave a legacy. While others chase numbers, quick wins, and appearances, those who commit to excellence focus on substance, impact, and integrity. One well-done effort is worth more than hundreds of careless ones. One genuine connection is worth more than thousands of superficial interactions. Each act of care, attention, and diligence compounds, building trust, respect, and influence that endures. By prioritizing quality, we not only achieve results in the present, but we also shape a future that remembers and values the work we have done. The The principle of quality over quantity is timeless. It reminds us that true success is not in doing more, but in doing better. It teaches us that our efforts, when focused, intentional, and heartfelt, have the power to leave a lasting mark. In every product we create, every service we deliver, every relationship we nurture, and every decision we make, quality should be our guiding principle. By committing to this standard, we ensure that our work matters deeply, resonates widely, and stands the test of time, creating a legacy that cannot be measured merely by numbers,